All right, map my walk says 0 distance, 0 duration. Let's start this workout and get to walking. Happy Sunday, everybody. Suburban Hiker checking in, day 7 of my 500-mile walk. Heck yeah! Today is March 31st, 2019. A cold and blustery Sunday. It's about 30 degrees with a lot of wind and breeze. So with the wind chill, it's probably closer to 18 degrees. And the wind is why I'm here at St. Patrick's Park today. I wanted to walk on the bike path heading up into Niles from South Bend, but it's a bit of a wind tunnel, and after yesterday's foray into downtown South Bend, where the whole city is a wind tunnel, I thought I'd try and get here into the woods where it might help cut down on the wind. Sorry about the wind noise. I do intend to get an external microphone so that we can help get rid of that. But until then, I'll just have to make adaptations to my hiking plans. For those of you who didn't watch yesterday's video, know that the granddaughter and I were in downtown South Bend. It was cold and windy. We were not prepared for that. And we ended up cutting our trip a little short. Went 2.5 miles instead of 3. Although it could be noted that I forgot to press start on the Map My Walk app, and we were well over a half a mile into our walk before I noticed it. Either way, today I'm a little more geared up. I do have a hat on, and I have 2 t-shirts and this light little hoodie jacket. But more importantly, I'm wearing gloves. See those gloves? Yeah, makes a big difference. I was sharing my hat yesterday with the granddaughter because her ears were getting cold. Then she got tired of wearing the hat and gave it back. Either way, today I'm ready to walk. I'm gonna get some miles in, and we'll see how it goes. This is mile number 19 of the 500-mile walk. I'm on the back side of some pine trees here. I talked about this in the video a couple days ago when I was here at St. Patrick's Park. These pine trees spell out St. Patrick's from an aerial view. You should Google St. Patrick's Park and you can learn all kinds of cool stuff. There's a lot of history to this park and a lot of backstory. Originally, I was going to walk the bike path, as I mentioned earlier. It follows Dixie Way Highway, US 933, and it parallels that street, those roads, all the way from South Bend up into Niles. I'm not sure what the termination point is. I walked it a little bit last summer, and I went 5 miles north and then turned around and came back for a total of 10 miles. But the original plan, if the weather was going to cooperate, was to just start walking as far north as the trail went. And if I got too far to walk back, I would have just called my girlfriend and had her come pick me up. But it is so windy out today, and I've been on that trail before, the bike path, and it's a wind tunnel. I didn't want to pick up all the wind on the camera. I can deal with walking in the wind, that's not bad. You know, that's nothing to worry about, but just the sound on the camera is horrendous. The section of St. Patrick's that I intend to walk today is the newer addition that they've added to the east side of the park in conjunction with Notre Dame and a research project that they're doing. There's trails out here somewhere, according to the map I looked at. It's not the greatest map in the world. I'll find the trail, even if I have to walk through an open field. And there's a couple open fields. I think if the wind is too much on this particular walk, I may readjust my route. I just came off of a service road along the pine woods there, and I'm walking by one of the maintenance sheds, a bunch of canoes and a couple vans and such. If you're not familiar with St. Patrick's Park, find where it's at. They offer all kinds of activities for the whole family. All the same activities you would expect any park. They have canoeing and hiking, pavilion rentals. They have several playgrounds. It's about 400 acres of land. I don't know if that takes account for the new acreage and trails that they added on the east side of the park. You can do your own research. Never just take my word for anything. I know a lot of stuff, but I'm also wrong a lot of times. I try not to be wrong. I generally won't say something if I don't know 100% certain that I'm right. And even then I'm still wrong. A lot of times. But I try not to be. Marshy area. It's kind of interesting as I walk along the side of this little wooded area. There's a trail coming up, but I've already passed a few trails, but I think they're just animal trails. They don't seem overly worn, and they're not very wide. It's kind of cool though, how animal trails will look like they are the park's trails. You can hop on the animal trails probably, and they'll cross into the marked trails for the park. It's a cool little feature. I've seen this before. Let me get out here where we can camera it. Get it in the camera. These items behind me in honor of the World Trade Center 9/11. How cool is that? And I do believe, again, you'll have to do your own research. This chunk here, or beam, is an actual piece of the World Trade Center. How cool. Let's read this little sign over here they have on the back side. The Freedom Memorial, standing tall, dedicated September 11, 2003. A reminder of our commitment to the preservation of freedom and in memory of the lives lost on September 11, 2001. In the eyes of the artist Robert Kuntz, this sculpture, welded of Corten steel, expresses the emotions and images of September 11, 2001. In front of the sculpture is a section of steel beam from Ground Zero, the site of the collapsed World Trade Center following the terrorist attack in New York City in September 2001. Nearby, native trees provide space for contemplation. How cool is that? All right, here we are coming up on the trail into the woods. We are 0.75 miles away from where I parked by the St. Joe River boat docks there at St. Patrick's Park. And so already 3/4 of a mile into the walk. I don't know how far I'll go today. I don't really have a plan. The only limitation really is going to be me. I might just do 1 mile, I might do 4 miles. I'm feeling pretty warm. The gloves make a huge difference. Yesterday it was cold. We called it quits because we weren't prepared. Today I was prepared for the wind and the cold, and I'm feeling pretty not bad. Pretty not bad. There is a lot of blowdown in here. This is crazy. Let me get some of this. Look at all these trees down. Oops, sorry about that. Look at that. Just a lot of blowdown. Both sides of the trail. I'm gonna guess these were from storms that came through about 10 years ago. We got hit pretty good with windstorms and tornadoes. I know I mentioned it in a video probably day 3 of my 500-mile walk. I talked about those storms and some of the damage they did, how they affected the daughter's birthday. If you haven't seen that video, you should go back and watch it. It's pretty cool stuff. You should check out all my videos. Wow, there's so much blowdown in here. How cool. It's just all over the place. As I mentioned, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, you should. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And click like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to get notifications. This 500-mile walk, it serves a purpose for me. I want to do a daily vlog. I wanted to walk 500 miles. I explained why in my very first video, day 1. You should check that out. Definitely follow along. I'm having fun making these videos, walking around the greater Michiana area. You can keep up with me. We'll walk 500 miles together. Although I think I'm doing most of the effort. Although it can take quite a bit of effort to put up with me, I understand. And there are dirt tracks all over the place too. How cool. A lot of deer tracks, a lot of blowdown. If you've never been to St. Patrick's Park, you should come check it out, hike it up. It's a neat place to be. I'm at 0.97 into the 19th mile. This is mile number 19. We're almost 1 mile in. The trail's a little muddy today. Had rain and snow overnight. It was snowing earlier. Still a good day to be out for a walk. Sun was supposed to come out at about 3. It's out now. That feels warm. Makes a big difference. Oh, 0.99 miles. We're getting close.
Total distance 1.01 miles. Total time 25 minutes and 4 seconds. Split pace 24 minutes 55 seconds per mile.
There you go. How cool is that? 1 mile down in a 500-mile walk. Now I am into mile number 20. 480 miles to go after this one. So 481 miles to go. As soon as we finish up mile 20, man, this time flies. It'd be going faster if I didn't keep stopping and looking at all the cool stuff. But you know, that's kind of the point of going on the walk sometimes. I don't always have to go for miles. Today I just feel like walking. That's why I don't really have a set goal of how many miles. I just felt like walking. I changed my plans frequently as I walk. There are a lot of variables that come into play. If I get hungry, cold, maybe my knee gets sore. Sometimes I feel good and I'll go twice as far as I planned on going. But for today's walk, I didn't have a plan. Just felt like walking. I'm glad the sun's coming out. I don't know if the wind's dying down or if it's just being baffled by all the trees. I think it might be a little bit of both. I hope the sun stays out. It's supposed to be real nice tomorrow. And actually for the next few days. Hopefully I can get some good mileage in on those days too. Once all the summer foliage comes in, this is a really cool looking area. All the trees and bushes and the greenery. The trail is wide enough that the sun can come through and everything looks just so fantastic and lush on those sunny days. I'm telling you, you should check this place out. Definitely should. Whew, starting to work up a little bit of a sweat here. I was questioning whether I was dressed warm enough for this little trip today. Again, 2 t-shirts and a jacket, a hat and gloves. Thought about wearing a much heavier coat, but I'm glad I didn't. If you sweat too much on a cold day, that really makes it tough. You dehydrate yourself, but you don't expect it so much. You slow down walking and then you're starting to cool off because the sweat dries. But if you underdress, well, there again, you can get too cold. A lot of it depends on the level of activity and how much you're going to exert yourself, I guess. When you're walking, your body's staying warm, generating heat. But if I stop walking for any period of time, even just 5 minutes, it'll get cold. One of the cooler aspects about these trails here, the newer trails on the east side of the park, is that they are laid out in a manner that you can walk them, and as long as you keep turning left, you will make it out. There are a series of loops and whatever you want to call them, and there's a few intersections, but if you always turn left, you'll get back to the beginning. The trails on the west side of the park don't do that so much. They intersect and cross over, and you can get stuck walking in a loop, in a circle. But the way these are laid out here on the east side, if you just keep turning left, you don't even need a map. I haven't walked this side very much. Maybe just two times maybe. And one of them, I felt like I got turned around. It was a really hot sunny day and I had already walked quite a bit. And I decided to walk into this area. And everything seemed to be taking longer than I thought it should. Time was dragging on, the sun was getting me sweat, hot. Obviously I made it out. I didn't get lost. But it was an interesting feeling, not knowing when I would get back to where I wanted to be. That was a fun walk. I enjoy days like that. I like going on hikes that are adventures. where I don't know what's going to happen or where I'm necessarily going to go. It is a good day for a walk. A little chilly, but if you're prepared for that, then that's not an issue. And I am more than prepared. I have a little bit of sweat on my head. My hands are nice and warm because of these gloves. And as long as I keep moving, I'll keep warm. This section of trail, the area is more of a new growth woods. Trees are probably 20 to 30 foot tall. They're not old trees. It's a little more open than the wooded area that we started in. The trails are wider. Here, let me turn this around. It's kind of designed like a service road, although I don't really see where there have been much traffic on here other than foot traffic and a lot of animal tracks. But it's not a heavily wooded area, and it's more than just a footpath. It's kind of nice to be able to mix it up that way, where you have footpaths through woods and then wider service type road. A lot of animal tracks. I haven't seen any animals today yet, just a couple squirrels. Hear the birds. I've heard a few airplanes, but I haven't seen any deer. Usually you'll see deer out here, wild turkey, stuff of that nature. I've come across turtles before. Getting closer to the second mile. We're at 1.99 miles for today. We're making pretty good time. Good day for a walk.
Total distance 2 miles. Total time 43 minutes and 41 seconds. Split pace 18 minutes 39 seconds per mile.
There you go, another mile. Man, this is easy. It's just left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, over and over and over. That's 20 miles down on my 500-mile walk. Only 480 more miles. Man. I'll have to do something special after I get 500. If you guys have any ideas of what I should do to celebrate, maybe I'll celebrate at 100 miles, 200, 300, 400, and 500. If you guys have any ideas, leave some comments. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I suggest you watch the other videos I've put up. That might answer any questions you have. Why I'm walking, how I decide where to walk, what I'm gonna do. I don't know. It's a lot of fun for me. I hope you guys are enjoying this, because I know I do. And I appreciate the comments you guys are leaving, private messages, even texts from friends, all that good stuff. I don't know, leave some questions or comments, ideas, what I should do to celebrate certain milestones in this 500-mile walk. 480 more to go. Cool. Hear a little bit of traffic. I'm not sure what road this section of the park runs by. It's a part of Laurel Road. Oh, here's a little brook. sandy bottom in there. It's interesting for this area. A lot of sand. Although we're not that far from Michigan. Michigan does have the Warren Dunes and Lake Michigan in fairly close proximity. So I'm not surprised that we have sandy areas around here. We have the Indiana Dunes. I've never been there. I've been Warren Dunes a lot of times. That's a great place to be. I love that beach. I've walked around a little bit up there in the dunes, but I've never actually hiked their trails. I've never gone there just to hike. I've only gone there to go to the beach. A lot of times. Oh my gosh, I spent a lot of time at the beach growing up. I really do want to go hike at the Warren Dunes and get up into even Michigan more. The terrain up there is much more challenging than around here in the greater Michiana area. It's much hillier. It's a lot of old growth forestry up there too. It's easy to get around at the Warren Dunes. They have the trails, and you have to wear shoes in the sand because it gets hot. If you're there in the middle of the day trying to walk down the dunes or any of the trails that are going through the sand primarily, you're burning your feet. That's a cool park. I'll definitely make some video up there. The granddaughter wanted to go camp up there. Maybe we'll backpack the trails and get a camping spot for the night. That'd be cool. Man, animal tracks everywhere. I bet if I was to sit down 15 or 20 minutes quietly here, I bet I'd see some deer. It's tough to see them even if they are in the woods. Their coloring really matches the color of the woods right at this point in time without the green foliage. There's a lot of the new growth trees I was talking about. Not sure what kind of trees they are. I'm not overly well versed in tree types. I ain't no treeologist. Now I'm in an area, maybe you can see and tell, not a whole lot in the way of trees to block the wind. A lot of briars, sticker bushes. I do believe this section of the trail is near Laurel Road, which is the entrance road for the park. Wind's picking up a little bit. One thing about walking in this colder air, it definitely causes my body to act differently. My lower back is really stiff today. It was cold yesterday, so that doesn't help matters. And I mentioned I had a show the other night in my other videos. Again, go watch those other videos if you haven't seen them. You're missing out on pertinent data to the stuff I'm saying today. Anyhow, I had a show the other night. Standing there relatively steady for 3 hours because I can't break away from the microphone for very long periods of time, playing guitar and singing. So my back gets stiff, and then this cold air just makes everything stiffer. That's why I'm walking, is to help with the back issues. help strengthen my core. It's helped in the past. It'll help again. I also need to start exercising more. Resistance training. I don't need to go all Arnold Schwarzenegger on it. I'm not gonna have to buff out. Just a little 20-minute routine, a couple, 3 times a week. And some yoga. I love the yoga. Helps with flexibility, agility, strength, stamina. Yoga's a fantastic workout. I suggest everyone does it. Has a lot of the same benefits walking does. And I talked about a lot of the benefits of walking in a video the other day. So like I said, go watch those other videos. Subscribe to the channel. That way you know what's going on, at least in my head. Closing in on mile number 3 for today. That'll be mile number 21. Ooh, there's some wind. I'm at 2.99 miles. Getting close. I'll probably start heading back to the car.
Total distance 3 miles. Total time 1 hour 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Split pace 18 minutes 49 seconds per mile.
Oh, there you go. Mile number 3 for the day. Mile number 21 of 500. How cool. I'm getting closer. But like I said, I think I might head back to the car. I'm not sure how far away from the car I am. But if it's close to another mile, well, maybe I'll go that little extra distance and get that 4th mile in for the day. We'll see. But 21 miles, only 400 and however many more miles to go. 79. 479 more miles to go. Heck yeah! It's fairly breezy on this stretch of the trail here. I think I'm getting closer to the wooded area that begins this section of the trail. The 9/11 memorial up there. Probably gonna head home. Getting fairly hungry. I didn't bring any snacks or water. I know I'm close enough to home that if I need those things, I can just get back to the car and go home and get it. A lot of times I do bring that stuff, especially if it's the granddaughter and I, so we never know how long we're going to be gone. But I didn't bring anything today. However, I am getting kind of hungry and thirsty. And to be honest, my cheeks are getting cold. That wind is, well, now it died down. Yay. As I come up next to the side of this older woods, the older growth. But my face is getting cold. And I'm getting hungry and thirsty. My back's getting a little tired. I mean, I could sit down and take a break, but I don't feel like doing that. I felt like walking today. Just feel like walking. I'm gonna cut right back through the woods again. Just retrace my steps the way I came. Now I'm back in the wooded area. Let me flip this camera around. You guys can see the trail. Whoa, see my glove. There we go. There's some of the deer track. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's tracks all over in here. I mentioned earlier, it's nice walking on the softer trails. After yesterday trying to walk downtown South Bend, the sidewalks, in the cold and wind, one of the things I realized as I was walking I had dress shoes on, so I walked almost 3 miles in my dress shoes. I forgot to change into any kind of a tennis shoe before I left the house. So today, I have a pair of hiking shoes on, and I'm walking on the soft trail. Soft because it's dirt and leaves and whatever else, but also soft because of the rain and snow having melted off. It's a little soggy. That could be why, a part of why my lower back's bugging so much. Walking in the softer dirt like this, it tends to give a little more. It changes my stride, changes my footwork, the way the muscles work through the leg and transfer the energy from your core to the feet. That might very well be why. It's kind of like walking in sand, where the sand pushes out from under your feet as you propel yourself forward. Probably a little bit of everything. Walking in the muckier trail, the cold air. I just know my lower back's pretty tight right about now. Doesn't hurt. I could stop walking for a minute and stretch it out, but I don't feel like doing that. I feel like walking. And I think by the time I get back to my car, I'll be very close to 4 miles for the day. We'll see. I'm pretty sure it will be. All right. Well, I just passed a few people. It's the first people I've seen all day. They're getting ready to walk through the area I just walked through. They didn't have a map, so I gave them mine. So I'm just about done. Looking at the Map My Walk app, I will definitely have gone more than 4 miles by the time I get back to my car. I just came out of the woods by the 9/11 memorial. Now I'm gonna make my way back to the car. I think I will just keep going back the exact same way I came, just to be sure to get my 4 miles in. Although, if I cut across the park, I'd probably get 4 miles too. But I'll go this way and make sure I get my 4 miles. Pretty cool little stretch here. It goes between 2 rows of pine trees. Has soft pine needles to walk on. Some animal tracks on the ground. How cool. I mentioned in a video the other day, go watch that one. Growing up at my grandma's, or growing up and spending time at my grandma's, she lived at the on the edge of the U.S. Memorial Forest in Culver. And that entire forest is pine trees. And that's exactly what this looks like.
Total distance 4 miles. Total time 1 hour 21 minutes and 6 seconds. Split pace 18 minutes 40 seconds per mile.
Woohoo! 4 miles! I'm almost back to the car. Not too far, probably 5 minutes. That's 4 miles for the day. That puts me at only 478 more miles to go on my 500-mile walk. I'm telling you, we got this. It's in the bag. Make sure you hang out to the end of it. Subscribe to the channel. Follow along. Communicate with me. Drop me some questions and comments. Leave a like. Share the videos. Tell me stuff you'd like me to do in the videos. Things you might want me to talk about. Places you might want me to go hike. Things you might want to see. we'll get through it. We'll get to the end. 500 miles. Heck yeah. Here I am, back at the car. I went 4.29 miles today in just over an hour and a half. That's not bad. It could have gone quicker. I stopped a few times to look at things. Anyhow, that leaves me with only 478 more miles to go on my 500-mile walk. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this. I've got a couple geese that want to talk to us as I wrap this up. Suburban Hiker asking you to please subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, like them, leave some comments, some questions. We'll make this a nice interactive event and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.